What's going on, everybody? Shane here from KNAC and Vulgar Play Gaming, joined with Davidson of Revocation. How the hell you doing, brother?
Doing great.
Now, I'm excited for this new album, and it's cool that you're tackling the world of AI and everything, and how it's played such it's taken over our lives. How'd you come up with the concept for this new album? Were you just like tired of seeing all this crap, or what?
Um, it's something that's been fascinating me for a number of years now. I've always kind of been into sci-fi and science things, growing up, and um, yeah, there was just a few different articles that I've read, and different interviews I've seen with people in the space over the years, and it just kind of seemed like with the invention of like chat gpt, it was like, okay, like it's kind of the future is now, and it's like really supercharged, and you know how it goes, like once one company invents something, everyone else is not far behind to try to get a piece of the pie. So yeah, I mean, I was writing the lyrics for this record, like over a year ago, at this point, and it just it was very apropos because like now that the record's about to drop, it's just exploded, and it's everywhere. And with technology that is moving at an exponential rate, it's hard to kind of keep up. So I mean, already it's ubiquitous, but I guess we'll see, where it's going to be in 6 months to a year, and 2 years. It just seems like it's going to
Uh,
be everywhere.
I will say that with even the new music video you guys just put out, or the one with the lyric video, thank you for not using an AI generated background for that. And you had all original art done by Paolo, who's done a lot of work for you guys. I love comic books, and like I can literally reach anywhere in my room and grab comics. How did you guys come up with like that kind of art and everything? You let him do his own thing because I love like the little panels. Is that going to be a book we could get or?
Yeah, so Tony Guaraldi Brown did the artwork for that. He's
Okay,
creating.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Paulo did the album cover.
That's right.
Um,
That's right.
but yeah, Tony, he literally is in the process currently of finishing up the graphic novel that will be going along with the new record. So
Hell yeah.
um, he, I met Tony. I was teaching him guitar lessons actually, and then I realized he was an incredible artist, and he teaches art, and he just makes like just really incredible illustrations. And he hit me up to do a Revocation T-shirt design for Confines of Infinity, and it came out super cool. And then we just kind of got to talking about a comic book concept, and he just ran with it. I mean, it's going to be like over 50 pages long. Every single song is sort of like a chapter in this comic book that he's creating, and it's the panels that I've seen so far are just really jaw dropping. So we wanted to sort of showcase just a small taste of the New Gods, New Masters graphic novel through this music video for Sarcophagi of the Soul.
Yeah, because I was like, oh man, I hope this is going to be an actual book we could get, not just like an insert to the vinyl or something.
No, no, you can pre-order it right now over on Night Shift merch.
Hell yeah, actually, I'll have that link down below in this video then. Now, you guys got some new members. How is everything working out with Harry and Alex? How do they contribute to everything now? I'm pretty sure you're excited for that. Some new, fresh talent coming about.
Yep, yep. Fresh blood. Yeah, no, they're great. They're both killer players, great dudes. Um, in this line of work, you have to kind of check off like a bunch of different boxes. It's not just can you play the material, but can you go on tour? Are you cool to like hang around with when you're seeing someone for 24 hours a day oftentimes when you're out on the road? So yeah, they're both great dudes, great players, and it's been fun just having new members in the band. It's nice to breathe some new life into Revocation with some new members.
Talking about new, fresh takes on everything. You got a lot of cool guest appearances on this album. I know you just in Cronenberg. You had Johnny from Job for a
Jumper Cowboy.
Cowboy. Then you
Yeah.
had Luke from Gorguts, and then you even have like Travis Ryan, and then the jazz musician Gilad. I hope I'm saying his name correctly, but how did that all come about? Where you're just like, man, like you guys love like guest appearances, and you got a lot of friends. Like, How was it picking these people this time?
It's always nice to work with new people. So it was cool to have a new cast of characters on this record. I mean, it's pretty much what you said. Like, I've got a lot of friends over the years. I feel very fortunate that being a musician, many of my friends are also musicians, and they're also incredibly talented musicians. So I wanted to pick vocalists that all had their own sort of unique voices, unique styles to guest on different tracks. And then with Galad, I mean, yeah, he's literally one of the best jazz guitar players in the world. So it was a real honor to have him on the record, and he delivered an incredibly thought-provoking solo for the outro of "The All Seeing," which is the instrumental track of the record.
Oh yeah, I know you're real big into jazz guitars and everything. Did you learn anything from Glad while you're working with him? Where you're like, oh wow, that's actually a pretty cool little trick right there.
I mean, he recorded it on his own, so I wasn't like actually in the room with
Yeah.
him when he
Okay.
recorded it. Um, but we know we are currently in the process of creating a tab book for the new record, so I'm
Oh
going to have
yeah.
to transcribe his solo, and I'm sure I will unearth many interesting things in that process.
Yeah, I bet that's gonna be fun, right? And hey, besides all the sci-fi stuff, you're real big into horror too, and I could tell with Cronenberg. I absolutely love that video. How'd you come up with the idea for that? I know you kind of probably got some like David, David Cronenberg kind of influences in there, the body horror stuff. How'd you guys come up with that?
Sure, yeah. I mean, the new record being a concept album about AI, but also just sort of a technological dystopia in general. Like I felt that it would be fun to kind of write a song about sort of a science experiment going off the rails, and of course, David Cronenberg, he's the OG body horror guy. I think the Fly with Jeff Goldblum is one of the best sci-fi body horror movies ever made.
Oh yeah.
So I was trying to pull from some of that imagery and just kind of general vibes of Cronenberg's work. And the song title itself is actually inspired by a Rick and
Exactly.
Morty episode where they were, he mutates the entire world and Cronenberg's everyone. So I thought, oh, this is a really, kind of funny, but also like uh, sort of hidden meaning because it's quite gory. Like the idea of being Cronenberg is actually quite horrific in the Rick and Morty sense. So it was cool to be able to create like a song title that can mean something very disgusting, but doesn't necessarily have that kind of visceral reaction at first glance. So it's fun to kind of play with people's expectations like that.
Yeah, it looked like it was a fun video to make. I mean, I like the creature and everything. Got the little tentacle arms and everything.
Yep, all practical effects.
Yeah, that's great. I absolutely love it. Now, and it's crazy to say because I saw you long. I seen you guys a long time ago. So it's crazy. You guys are coming up on like what, almost 20 years. You guys been around now. It's been a while. Not to say that you're old or anything.
No, you
Just
can say it. I'm old. I'm old. Yeah,
I'm
no, yeah. Next year will be our 20-year
yeah
anniversary. It's fucking insane.
yeah, and I'm just saying, your songwriting has evolved, and it's just it's gotten so technical. You're always trying to push new boundaries. I can see with your playing and everything. How do you keep it fresh? What's inspiring you right now beyond metal influences?
Um, well, I certainly listen to a lot of metal still, and there's tons of great underground bands that are out there doing awesome stuff. But yeah, I mean, I listen to a lot of jazz. I constantly work on jazz and transcribe some of my favorite players to get new ideas. I love classical music, and going down that whole rabbit hole. A lot of times it's just like there's only so many hours in the day. I mean, for as robust as the metal scene is, right? I mean, you can kind of break each
Hmm.
genre down, and there's tons of bands that play black metal and death metal and grindcore, and every sort of subset. Um, Jazz and classical music are also very deep wells to kind of go down as far as different composers and players. So yeah, I wish I had more time in the day to check out all the music that I want to listen to. But you know, I'm always listening to stuff. Sometimes it's just listening to a fucking good rock record, something that isn't necessarily musically the most technical thing in the world, but they just write great songs and cool melodies. Um, I spent a lot of time with the last Queens of the Stone Age record, for example. Just love that album.
Great
So yeah, it
album.
really just kind of depends on what I'm in the mood for, and it sometimes can change by the day. I've been listening to like Tyler the Creator's new record, which is awesome. Um, so like, listen to hip hop. Like it just really just kind of depends on what I'm in the mood for.
Hey, that's a good thing, right? But we never have enough time in the day to listen to everything we want to. There's so
Yeah.
much stuff out there. Eh, Making this album, you actually produced this one at your studios. What did you do differently this time compared to Netherhaven? And did you learn anything new or anything? You're like, let's try to do this. Or how was the recording process for this album?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I produced Nether Heaven as well. So I feel like that. I mean, that was my first time producing
Hmm.
a record and recording like everything myself, in terms of the guitars and vocals and stuff. So that was a learning curve that I needed to go through. Some of it was quite painful because like I didn't have the everything wasn't sort of at my fingertips in terms of like the hotkeys and my workflow could have been better on Nether Heaven. It was a lot of sort of starting and stopping the recording process because I would hit a wall and be like, I don't know how to do this. Ah, fuck, I got to look up a YouTube video of how to figure this out. So I was able to apply a lot of that knowledge to New Gods, New Masters, which just kind of made it a much smoother process, I would say. Um, and there's always things to learn, especially with this recording software. There's so many. I mean, I'm always learning. In Logic, so I mean, literally the other day I learned some cool new trick there that I'm like, oh, this is going to be super useful for other things with my teaching or whatever. Um, so I learned a lot, but there's always more to learn. And I guess it's kind of like music in that regard. Every record that you do, you get better. I think as a player, as a songwriter, and now I'm getting better as a producer. So it's a nice new feather in my cap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like you said, probably saved yourself some headaches on some things that you learned last time. So all you could do is just keep learning, right?
Exactly, exactly. And then you learn, and then you start learning new things, and like then they open up new cans of worms, and now I'm
Yeah,
like,
then you
oh,
go down the rabbit
damn,
hole. You're like, I just learned this. Now I gotta learn this to do this.
right,
Wow.
right.
Um. Okay, so when it came to the guitars on Netherhaven, Heaven. Why do I keep saying Haven for some reason? I'm just barely waking up. Work nights. Sorry about that.
All
Um,
good, all good.
the guitars were tracked direct, and then you reamped them later, right?
Mhm.
How'd
Yep.
you approach your tone on this new record? Keep a similar method, or you're like, no, let's
Same
try it.
exact,
Like
same
you
exact
said.
method. Yep, yep. I
Okay.
use plugins just to track, and then we sent everything out to Jens Bogren, and he's got a whole amazing studio over in Europe, and he reamped everything. I mean, I've never been there. I would actually love to check it out one day. Um, I can only imagine it's just sort of a wonderland of gear. So, not that I don't have my toys at my own home studio, but when you're so close to it and you're like listening to a specific kind of thing every day, it's kind of just nice to get a fresh set of ears on it. And he's got, like I said, I'm sure tons of great microphones and amps that he's utilized over the years. So sent it off to him, and it's kind of a blind taste test. Like you got amp A, amp B, amp C. Which one do you like? And we just kind of go from there.
It's insane you can actually do that now. You're like, hey, I'm just gonna send it over here instead of like back in the day going physically to record all of that stuff.
Yep.
So
I mean, reamping's been a thing for quite a while. I've been reamping guitars pretty much on like almost every single revocation record we've ever done. So it's the technology's not necessarily new, but it certainly I think has been perfected over the years.
wow, see, new to me because I'm still learning that whole technical aspect of things. I'm like, well, I don't know. Yes.
Yeah.
um, again, we talked about the whole commentary for your lyrics and everything. You had past songs like Diabolical Majesty, like tackling like satanic temples, like rites and everything against religious stuff. How do you want people to perceive, your take on technology and how it's controlling our lives right now?
Um, yeah, I mean, I would. I mean, at the end of the day, like I'm a songwriter. I hope people kind of take my lyrical content in context of the greater picture of the record. But I mean, if people are just isolating the lyrics themselves, I hope people resonate with the lyrics. I mean, for me, being a fan of metal and getting out the booklets and reading along with some of my favorite records. There's been countless vocalists, whether they've been in metal or rock, that have I feel like have really spoken to me and have had really compelling things to say with their lyrics. Sometimes it's tongue in cheek, and it's like a little wink and a nod at the audience, which I like. Other times it's something that's more thought provoking. That's like I'm like, man, I feel like I'm reading fucking philosophy right now, like in metal lyric form. So I hope it is engaging for the people that are reading the lyrics. I hope maybe that it's hopefully thought provoking, and especially given that the topic is it involves existential threats to our humanity and lives. Uh, Hopefully, it maybe uh, encourages people to sort of research the subject more. I don't think my lyrics are going to make it onto the desk of the Chat GPT CEOs, and it's going to convince them to pump the brakes on this $1 trillion industry. But it's a nice thought. I think we're all in this kind of crazy social science experiment together, and we don't really know where it's going to lead us. So whether people read these lyrics or not, it was something that I felt compelled to write for myself, just kind of for my own sanity. It's something that was deeply concerning me, and I just feel like I needed to put the pen to the paper. So that's my 2 cents there.
Hey, I will say for me it resonates. We need to slow down and kind of get off our phones every once in a while. Spend some time with each other. That's why I like going to shows. You talk to people and have a good time.
Right? You can't download a show into your brain yet.
Yeah, don't give them any ideas, okay? You'll get rid of venues, and it's just like, well, jack into the virtual venue right there.
Full Matrix.
I want to start closing it up with again. I talked about Paulo. He did your album art and everything. Did you just give him a theme, or you let him do his thing? Because it's amazing so far. All the stuff he's been doing.
Paulo's an incredible artist, insanely prolific, has his own style. I love working with him. I've never met him in person. I would love to meet him in person, though, because he seems like a very fascinating guy. But literally, I gave him the lyrics. I gave him other album covers that I like to kind of get the gears turning in terms of kind of like a mood board or whatever, And I gave him a sketch, and I'm a terrible artist. I have no visual art expertise or ability at all, but he wanted a sketch, and a sketch he received, and he was so gracious. He was like, "This is great," So I'm like, and it's funny if you look at, I posted it on our Instagram. You can kind of go back in time a little bit. I'm sure you can find it, but I posted the sketch with his final version, and what he did with my very loose, primitive cave painting, he turned into an absolute masterpiece work of art. So that's a true artist right there.
Oh yeah,
You can see the vision.
Yeah,
and
it'll be
he
popping up right here to show everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but that's awesome. I mean, hey, at least you didn't go get an AI generated thing and give it to him. You're like sticking true to yourself, drawing it.
That's right.
But
came from the heart.
Exactly. So the new album's coming out September 26th. Anything you want to leave off with and promote it? We got shows coming up, right? I believe. What do we got going on?
So yeah, well, Revocation is hitting the road. We're going out in the U.S. and Canada this fall to support the new record. It's going to be a great lineup. We got Judiciary, we got In Theory, we got Vomit Forth on that one. Then early next year, we're going over to Europe, going on towards Silosis, Distant, and Life Cycle. So we've got quite a busy few months coming out post album dropping. And then it's going to be our 20-year anniversary in 2026. So stay tuned for that. We have some fun plans lined up.
Anyway, thank you, Dave. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. New album is coming out September 26th.
New Gods, New Masters. Thank you so much, Shane. Appreciate you.
It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, brother. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Take care.